Hello everyone, welcome to NWR TV. I'm John Reardon, and this video is going to contain some monstrous spoilers. I mean, we are talking like end of game, plot twist kind of spoilers for both the original Xenoblade and Xenoblade 2. So if you haven't played either of those games, if you want to go into them without knowing a major thing that happens at the end of both games, don't watch this video. But for the rest of you, if you beat it, or you just don't care, or your curiosity has just overwhelmed your soul, welcome to the video. So when I initially played Xenoblade 2 for review, going into the game, Nintendo had been very clear, this doesn't really tie in story-wise. It's just kind of thematically the same, kind of like they said with X. Obviously, getting a lot closer to the original Xenoblade in terms of art design and whatnot. But as far as actual story goes, Xenoblade 2 was presented not as a direct sequel to the original Xenoblade, or even really taking place in the same universe. But I figured as I went through the game, I'm curious, I'm the type of person who pores over the Legend of Zelda timeline, so I was looking for any little links between the original Xenoblade and Xenoblade 2. And you know what? I found some, and I figured, well, that's that. It was little things, like Malos's sword, once he gets all powered up, is in fact the Minato, and I thought, hey, that's a nice little reference to the original, and little things like that. But I said, that's just, it's a reference. The story itself exists in its own universe. I'm totally okay with that. But then there was something toward the end that just seemed, the ending seemed familiar. So toward the end of Xenoblade 2, when you meet the architect and you find out a lot more about him, you get this glimpse into a past where you're on this space station and there's an experiment run that recreates the universe. And this is very similar to the end of Xenoblade, the original one. And it doesn't help that the voice actor playing the architect is Shulk.
As you stand before me right now, that is who you are.
So the whole time you're like, this all just feels so familiar. But it didn't occur to me until I went and actually watched the ending again for the original Xenoblade that these weren't just similar, this was the same event. So we get this flashback right before the final chapter of the game, where we see this space station. There's some sort of conflict going on the planet below, and there is a scientist there named Dr. Klaus, and he is about to do an experiment that he believes will essentially recreate the universe. So, despite the objections of a woman there with him, he does this, and it recreates the universe, destroys everything, and ultimately results in him sort of becoming the god of this new universe, and him being able to reshape it however he wants. Now, it's important to note, because at first I was like, well, maybe they're just kind of homaging the original Xenoblade here, because the architect does state, there are many dimensions that are all existing at the same time, and I was like, okay, they're kind of like, this is like a branch off of like the same basic idea of the original, but it's not the exact same events. That's not the case, though, because if you go back and look at the ending for the original Xenoblade, the dude that restarts the universe, it's the exact same scene, the same dialogue, and he's still named Klaus. It's the same guy.
No! The results have not been confirmed! It's too dangerous!
Professor, no! The results have not been confirmed! It's too dangerous!
Ridiculous! It's perfectly safe! We are about to bear witness to the birth of a universe!
It's perfectly safe. We are about to bear witness to the birth of a universe!
Once, only a god could perform such a miracle. But today, mankind moves one step closer to the divine!
Klaus!
Once, only a god could perform such a miracle. But today, mankind moves one step closer to the divine.
Stop, Klaus!
And then when you come back to Xenoblade 2, it's revealed that the architect, when he recreated the universe, half of him came through to this universe, and half of him went to another universe. So half of him became the architect, and half of him became Zanza, and by continuation, kind of Shulk. So the people who, before this game came out, had that theory that the architect is Shulk, because Shulk has a habit of, recreating the universe. I'm gonna give you full marks. I mean, it's not technically Shulk, but I guess kind of it is. But yeah, the architect from Xenoblade 2 is Zanza from the original Xenoblade. The difference is that his body and his whole spirit, whatever, was essentially split in two, and so the architect that you get in Xenoblade 2 essentially wanted to fix the world. He created a world that he thought would fix the problems that the previous world had, and was this very like loving and caring creator who tried to honestly create a world that he thought would work. Whereas his other half became very corrupt and wanted just everything to revolve around him. He always wanted to be at the center and in control. And so you get these two very different representations of the same guy, kind of the two sides of his mind. But yeah, so if you're wondering, do Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2 have anything to do with each other? Yes, they are alternate realities of the same thing. It is the same event. The event that caused the world of All Rest to exist is the same event that caused the Bionis and Mechonis to exist. They are all the same event, and just sort of exist in parallel. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed that. If you've already got to that point in the game, maybe you've spotted some other links, so feel free to leave comments down below, pointing out other areas where the two games tie together. Anyway, that's all I have right now. Thank you guys very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Nintendo World Report TV. You can also check out NintendoWorldReport.com for a whole lot more, and if you want to support both this channel and the website, you can check out patreon.com/NWR. There is also a full review of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right here on this channel that you can check out if you're bored. It was written by me, so if you just enjoy the soothing sounds of my voice, go check that out. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.